Thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
The role of a woman in the society is to submit. Birth control are the pills of the devil. Education is so fundamental to the development of a people. Hang murderers. Simple as that. What am I voting for? Voting will change nothing.
Tout le monde haïtien, como ye. God save the Queen.
Today is Friday, the 28th of September, 2017. Broadcasting live from ILTV here in Nassau, Bahamas. Welcome to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And of course, I'm a member of the local Catholic Church Christian community. Well, joining me until my spiritual advisor arrive is Keyshawn Forbes. Keyshawn, welcome to Freedom March.
A very pleasant good afternoon, Mr. Monker. It is a high honor to be amidst such an astute congregation.
Well, I thank you for those flattering words, Keyshawn. Folks, politics in the Bahamas is moving swiftly. You would recall that yesterday, the Prime Minister of the Bahamas, Dr. the Honorable Hubert Alexander Minnis, and a contingent of Negro officials went, guess where, to meet the parents of the 8-year-old Negro student, Antonio Eugene Woodside Jr. You remember Minnis went there? Well, I got a blow. Well, I can't even think of a good word. I got a striking piece of information to tell you what happened hours after Minnis' leave. Many of you would have heard or would have read in Bahama Press that the current Minister of National Security, Marvin Deans, is somewhere outside of the country, and that our beloved Prime Minister is now the acting Minister of National Security. But when I tell you how he flexed his powers as Minister of National Security, everybody is going to hang their head in shame. But things are happening, and I have to pray. Should I tell the Bahamian people some of these things that are taking place in our country? And then, of course, there is news coming out of the Water and Sewage Corporation that some of the Negroes there who were talking about Dominica, who were disappointed in Bahamians, and who were saying that they were going to investigate, I'm hearing reports that they, like Delia, they got a letter and they were told to pack up their Johnny bundle and leave. But I can't get online to get my email. I hope I can get. Since my clock is off, you all will have to tell me whether or not I should keep on talking, because I can't time myself. But these are some of the exciting things that are taking place in the country. I also went to the Stephen Dillard School after teacher and construction workers alerted me. Next thing I know, a tall, slim Negro woman claiming to be a security guard called the police for me. And then the next question is, who is Phyllis Johnson? And what she is to Mr. Newbold. We'll talk about these things when I come.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker, and of course, I welcome everyone to Freedom March. My special guest until the spiritual advisor arrives is Keyshawn Forbes. Keyshawn is from Freeport, Grand Bahama, but currently he lives here in the Bahamas. He lives here in Nassau.
Hey, you still said it correctly, Mr. Monko.
Keyshawn, once again, welcome to Freedom March.
Thank you so much for having me, Mr. Monko.
Just this morning, I received calls from a teacher and a number of Negro construction workers from Stephen Dillett, and they continued to complain. And I decided that I shall go to Stephen Dillett to make some inquiry as to what is taking place. Among some of the allegations which are taking place here is that teachers are entitled, I'm advised, to a lump sum of $1,000. A number of them have received the payment. This is what I have been told. The Minister of Education, Jeffrey Lloyd, I'm advised, is outside of the country, so there's no means by which I can get any information from him on this matter. But $1,000 apparently is a lump sum that somehow was agreed to in some agreement in which the government would pay teachers. I'm advised a number of them were paid, but many Bahamian teachers, including expatriate teachers teaching in the Bahamas, have not received their monies.
Powerful.
And we know how it goes. Once the people there don't receive their money, they turn to me, the Negro Justice of the Peace, and I'll go in and investigate. And then, of course, the construction workers complain that without notice, teachers showed up at Stephen Dillett, and the construction workers say they were trying to complete the painting of the interior, putting on or hooking up the final electrical, what shall I call it?
The wirings.
The wirings, thank you, all right. Finalizing the wiring and so forth. And so I entered the property, and a Negro lady who claimed after a while that she was a security. And in fairness to her, she did come out of a security booth. But there were many Negro women, including teachers, who were in this booth, and she decided that she didn't want me off the property. And I told her, well, in that case, call the police. And then Phyllis Johnson, whom I have just recently learned her identity, she is the newly appointed principal of Stephen Dillett. I'm told that she is the acting, I'm quoting the Negro, she's the acting niece of Mr. Howard Newbold. Now, Mr. Newbold, you better tell your niece to be respectful and not treat me in a disrespectful manner. Because Mr. Howard Newbold, I've been doing all kinds of investigation about the Ministry of Education and the management and mismanagement of government contracts and so forth. And I really don't want to have to curse you out, Mr. Newbold, over your acting niece. Stephen Dillett is a public school, and I have a right as a citizen to go on that property and to inspect it. And I want Phyllis Johnson to know that 36 years ago, a court in the Bahamas made an order that I, Rodney Monker, Nicola Jacks, and Roman Nichols, you heard the names I call, are never to be prevented from entering any government property. So, for those who might not be aware, it looks to me like I have to go and find that judgment and send it to the Attorney General so that when I show up, they will know that a court has ordered that no prosecution is to be inflicted upon the three of us once we visit a government institution. All right? I just want you to know that. So that is what took place there today. And then there's this F&M young man, Marvin Molly, wearing, if you notice, I posted, I stream live. And I'm very disappointed in Marvin Molly. He does not have any manners. Can you imagine that Negro young man attempted to confiscate my cameras? It's amazing how these Negroes do not know their place. No one should attempt to prevent me from entering any government property, particularly if I'm not breaking any law. I have a right as a citizen. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to up the ante on the government. And they will then teach Phyllis Johnson how to conduct herself. I thought Phyllis was retired. Isn't Phyllis one of the people that Jeff them just bought back?
Wow.
And the workers are saying that they can complete the work in time for the opening of the school. That Stephen did it for Monday. But the teachers were in their way. And so they called me, and I went. Now, you know I can't time myself, so I'm distracted, wondering about whether or not I'm going over the clock and so forth. Okay? I even don't see myself being streamed. All right? So you all tell me when to stop. Are we on air? Because I don't see myself being monitored here. We are live. So watch the clock and tell me, okay? All right. So, that is what is taking place here. Yesterday, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis, his wife, and a contingent of Negro officials went on Rosebud Avenue to meet the grieving parents of the student who suffered death on Monday. I'm advised that since Marvin Dames is alleged to have left the Bahamas, that Dr. Minnis has emerged as the acting Minister of National Security. Well, early this morning, members of the Royal Bahamas Police, according to a Negro source living in Black Village, arrested the parents of the deceased. Isn't that interesting? They arrested the father, and I'm advised that the grieving mother, upon recognizing that the police was arresting her son, her husband, she told them he has done nothing, he's innocent, and if they're going to lock him up, she, who is pregnant, would like to be arrested as well. And we advise that in the struggle, she was violently pushed against the police car. So isn't that interesting?
That's interesting.
My God, Minister, what you doing? You just become Minister of National Security. And the woman who you went to comfort yesterday, early this morning, you're going to lock her up. What's going on? If Minister does not understand his role as Minister of National Security, he should just not appoint anyone until Marvin Dames return. I call on Dr. Minnis one more time to visit the woman, the grieving mother and the grieving father. How is it that less than 12 hours after Dr. Minnis, his wife, his permanent secretary, Jack Thompson, and all the media them, how come the police will go there and arrest the parents? That is what sources in the community of Black Village has provided me. And I call on Minnis once again to deny it. Deny it, Dr. Minnis. What's this going on? Young man, I know you're from Freeport. You're from F&M country. What are your views?
Well, my views on the situation is that for now it is an allegation, but Grand Bahama has the box of the F&M. They really do have the box of the F&M because they believed in their powers, or the powers that they, before the election of this newly established government, the previous election, the previous F&M party, they believed in their good works, and they thinking that that same stature can transition to the Minnis-led cabinet, and that's what they are holding on to.
But you went to Stephen Dillard today,
Yes, sir.
and
Yes,
you
indeed.
saw the condition and the confusion. But I won't put you on the spot. You are from F&M country, right?
My grandmother is a hard F&M.
Okay. All right. So, folks, these are some of the things that are happening here in the Bahamas. Here it is. Minnis goes to the People's House. And hours after he left, I don't know if it would be fair to say that Minnis locked them up, but he's Minister of National Security. It is almost as if Minnis ain't getting nothing right. My God, how can the government justify doing this? I just don't understand it. How does the government justify it? So, that is some of the things that is taking place here in the Bahamas. I'm kind of distracted, so I'm the kind of man, when I'm distracted, I don't concentrate too well. Phyllis Johnson. Miss Phyllis Johnson used to work at the Sandilands Rehabilitation School, the Sandilands Primary School, and I thought her conduct today was extremely unprofessional. What makes her believe that I do not have a right to come on school property as a citizen? What makes her think that I don't have a right, to the extent that she would call the police for me? Howard, what is the man's name? Howard Newbold.
Okay, that's what we were looking for.
Howard Newbold. Speak to Phyllis, eh? Because I have avoided attacking you. Please speak to Phyllis, all right? Because I am minded to follow you at the school, all right? I'm minded to follow you at at Dr. Rogers. What is the name of that school down here on, goodness me, I've forgotten the name of the school. All right. But Howard, be careful. Speak to your acting niece, because I have been monitoring a school. All right? And I've held back. But I'm extremely annoyed over the disrespectful behavior of your acting niece. Extremely annoyed over that. Oh boy, my studio is so hot. It's unbearable today. Very, very hot. Y'all better fix this air condition, man. I'm hot.
I think that you just might be rallied up from what previously occurred today, and basically you're just settling down before you actually drop your breaking news to the public.
Well, you can't break that news because I don't have any access to the computer. Well, let's go back to Reverend Philip McAlpine, who was argued yesterday. The newspapers are reporting today that he says, one, that he's not xenophobic, nor is he racist. But I want to warn him that Dr. Minnis has not truly disclosed to the country why he has an interest in Dominica.
Powerful.
I'm wondering if I should reveal to the country, or should I call on Dr. Minnis to go one step further and tell the Bahamian people why his interest, what is his interest in Dominica, because he's not disclosed that. And I think he has a duty. You see, young
Exactly.
man, you in FNM, I want to show you until my spiritual advisor comes
Okay.
some of the conflict of interest that the FNM finds itself in when it fails to disclose. You see? And Dr. Minnis has a duty to disclose an interest that is alleged that he has in the people
Exactly.
of Dominica.
Nica.
And he's not done it, and he should have disclosed it. Because when I do disclose it, you know, if my disclosure is true, it will not be a good reflection on our Prime Minister.
I agree. I would ask you that you give the Prime Minister some leeway into disclosing such a matter.
But he doesn't know that I know what he ought to disclose. So I'm going to have to say it,
Okay.
you see? Or unless you have a special line to him.
I mean,
Right.
for the Prime Minister himself, because he's dealing with numerous things, like you've seen that he deal with the issue with the little boy who got the stray bullet ricocheted into him. Unfortunately, he's got some issues on his table. So basically,
But the
you
parents
can-
were arrested hours after the Prime Minister left.
I mean, for now, for at this present period of
Goodness of
time,
mercy.
it is considered allegations, but let's just assume.
Oh, no, this is no allegation, my brother.
Okay,
These are the facts.
facts. Okay.
So I don't know what we are going to do, but wow, can you imagine? Mr. Minnis, the Prime Minister, he goes, meet with the parents. He promised the mother all kind of doctor, but hours after the Prime Minister leave, we get reports that the poor parents were arrested. This is Freedom March. We're going to hold Minnis to being accountable and transparent. I'll be right back.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I'm joined by a young man from Freeport, Grand Bahamas, who is, you're an FNM, eh?
Yes, sir, I am.
Keyshawn Forbes. He is an FNM. Well, folks, we are hearing reports that the general manager of the Water and Sewage Corporation, Glenn Laville, that something may have happened to him. And so I'm just waiting for the studio to bring me in the document. So when I announce it, you know, it's accurate. So we're receiving some serious report because Glenn LaVille, he's the Negro male who was in charge of the Water and Sewerage Corporation and who had supported the government's decision to bring in the Dominicans. And he was extremely upset over the fact that many Bahamians were not supporting the government's decision. And you ought to remember that he told the media that he was conducting an investigation into the leaking of the confidential water bills of politicians. And so we have been receiving reports that he may have been fired. But as I say to you, today has not been a good day. And so I'm hoping that somebody will quickly bring me the documents, because we are advised that the government might have informed the staff over the revolutionary actions which is being taken. So while they're getting my letter, what I'm going to do is just read the code.
The
code. So Island Luck and Ultra Games represent Crack the Code 2.0. Let me do it again. Island Luck and Ultra Games present Crack the Code 2.0. Can you crack it? Went up to $250,000. Earn 25 reward points. Take your chance at cracking our secret code. Play now at all Island Luck and at Ultra Games locations, as well as on our websites, mobile platforms, and kiosks. If you crack the code at level 1 with 6 digits, you can win $250,000. You have 3 days to crack level 1. After 3 days, if nobody cracks the 6-digit code, we'll give you a clue. We'll reveal one of the numbers and move to level 2. Then for the next 3 days, you can attempt to crack the 5-digit code and win $50,000. So, if no one cracks level 2 within 3 days, you get another clue, but it will cost you. At level 3, crack the 4-digit code for $5,000. But if you can't get the code, you'll get another clue and move to level 4, where you can win $500 by cracking the 3-digit code. We'll stay at level 4 until somebody cracks it. When that happens, we'll start all over again at level 1, and you'll have the chance to win $250,000 all over again. And for the first time ever, account and over-the-counter players can play via the in-store kiosk on the web or on your mobile. For web mobile players, you simply visit either islandluck.com or ultragames.com and log into your account and select the crack code link. For over-the-counter players, just select the code link, and enter the voucher code at the bottom of your ticket. On behalf of Island Luck and Ultra Games, good luck and happy cracking. Visit islandluck.com or ultragames.com for more information. Okay. I have a letter in my possession, a copy of it, and this letter purports to come from the Water and Sewerage Corporation. And I'm going to read the first part of the letter, which purports to come from Donna Ferguson on behalf of Board Secretary Ms. Dot Lee Fox. Dear colleagues, good afternoon. I have been asked to share the urgent communication below from our chairman, Mr. Adrian Gibson, MP, with you. Sincerely, Donna Ferguson, on behalf of Board Secretary, Miss Dotley Fox. Dear Water and Sewerage staff members, the Board wishes to advise all staff that we have ordered an immediate forensic audit of the corporation. The audit is being carried out by the accounting firm, Ernst & Young. All staff members are asked to fully cooperate with the auditors and to provide them immediate and unfettered access to any and all information, files, and other documents requested. To facilitate this audit, the board has placed the general manager, Mr. Glenn Laville, and the chief financial officer, Mrs. Sandra Edgecombe, on administrative leave until October 9, 2017. The 10th as the 9th, I'm only reading what they got here. The 10th as the 9th is a national holiday. In the interim, Deputy General Manager, Mr. Robert Deal, has been appointed as Acting General Manager, and Assistant General Manager, Ms. Sherry Hanna, on Mr. Deal's advice, will serve as the Acting Chief Financial Officer in addition to their normal responsibilities. Your full cooperation is expected and appreciated. Yours faithfully, Mr. Adrian P. Gibson, MP, Chairman, Water and Sewerage Corporation. So, Glenn Laville, remember him? The descendant from Dominica? Well, the F&M just put his backside on administrative leave. They're going to be doing a forensic examination of the Water and Sewerage Corporation. So, Glenn Laville, I don't know if you, by the time they finish this investigation, you might not have the strength to welcome them people from Dominica. Remember, I said something to you? I said, Laville, you should have only tell the F&M, thank you. But you're going right ahead and criticize Bahamians who had a problem with the whole scene. Bahamians who had a legitimate right to question the F&M. But you were upset by it. Well, now Delia has written the note because the F&M is investigating. And once they could find any Negro who is guilty or appears to be guilty, guess what they're going to do? They're going to prosecute your backside, them, straight to jail. So this is one of the breaking news going on. The government of Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis has now suspended the general manager, Glenn Laville, and who else? And the chief financial officer, Mrs. Sandra Edgecombe. So Glenn ain't gonna be able to investigate who leaked them documents. No, sir, because they have clipped his wings. So that is one of the things that is going on. So this is one breaking news. The second breaking news is hours after the Prime Minister, who is the acting Minister of National Security, visited the parents of the deceased Negro young man, police moved in and arrested them. Isn't it amazing? Arrested them. And according to Negro sources, a relative of the grieving couple began to videotape what the police were doing. These are the allegations that I'm receiving. And the police confiscated the apparatus which was being used to videotape and erased it. We have, however, been advised that police has since released the grieving couple. Now you see, remember I told you all how yesterday when Minnis went to visit the family, how he was not brief? I told you all that. I said in that whole cycle, there were people who were murdered. And I accused Marvin Dames of not giving Minnis good advice. But then Minnis is now in charge. He is Prime Minister, we are told, and Acting Minister of National Security, because there are allegations that Marvin has left the country. So that is what is going on. And something got to be right. Wrong. See? Let me show you all. Here's the Tribune. Can you find the Nassau Guardian? The Tribune and the Nassau Guardian. They got Minnis with the family. See it here? Which one this is? This one is the Tribune.
And
This one here
is the Nassau
is the
Guardian.
Nassau Guardian. Minnis is on the front page. Well, I can't wait for the newspaper to accompany Minnis to see the parents. My God, Minnis, what kind of Minister of National Security you are? Hours after you take these pictures, your police went and locked up the grieving people. They the wrong people to lock up. They was innocent. They didn't know gunmen was going to run through the house or through the yard. They're the wrong people. The people you lock up is never supposed to be the victim's family. You go and you look for the culprit. I told y'all what was taking place. I said it yesterday. I said, listen, you see Minnis going down there in Rosebud Avenue? All around there are victims, families of victims of murders. And my God, Minnis going to have another headline. All right? He's going to have to go and see the pregnant, grieving mother and her husband. You hear me? This is what is taking place. My God. Minister of National Security. If I was Minister of National Security and my Prime Minister went to visit the grieving people, the first thing that I would call in is the Commissioner of Police. I said, now, Commissioner, you know what happened here? Men came pursuing a man, shot him, and also ended up killing a young boy. So, as of today, a patrol car will be parked here for security reasons. That is what I would have done as Minister of National Security. I would have said to the Commissioner of Police, how that sound? Is that reasonable? But by grab, hours, give me that paper again, hours after Minnis leave holding the two office of Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and the Acting Minister of National Security, the police returned hours later, and the mother, upon recognizing that they were about to lock up the husband, she said, no, you can't take the husband. You got to take me, because he ain't do nothing. This is my husband. And they say, somehow, something went wrong, and the next thing we know, that the first thing that Minnis has done as Acting Minister of National Security is to, I don't know what to say. So that is what is happening. And I call for a Royal Commission of Inquiry. That's what I want. In England, if this kind of faux pas is committed, the white people in England who understand the system would get a senior justice and hold a whole Royal Commission of Inquiry. But my Negro people, they continue to do this nonsense. All right? So, Minnis, what is your explanation? I challenge you to deny it. Say it didn't happen, Minnis. say it didn't happen. And Menace, I call upon you now to go and see the grieving parents. How you can lock up the wrong set of people? How? You remember I tell you all how on weekend I hide from Menace? Somebody said I was crazy. No. No. There's something that I know that I've not told you. Since Menace wrote me that letter accusing me of not complying with the Public Disclosure Act. And God knows it. I have disclosed according to the law. Disclose. All right? But that's what is taking place. So we need Menace to go back. And when he goes back, I want him to take the Guardian with him, the Tribune, the Punch, the Bahama Journal, and all them other people who were streaming, and let Menace reconvene a meeting of the House of Assembly to tell us how his government made this faux pas. You don't do that. How the hell, if my baby get killed, I end up getting locked up? How? You know I had nothing to do with it. So I want Menace to explain this mistake. All right? Marvin leave the country, good. And bam! Menace man, you don't do it like that. Sit down with the police and come up with a better strategy. So that is the breaking news. So we've given you 2 breaking news. Now the third one. The Free National Movement under Hubert Alexander Ingram got the Conkey Joe people, so the late Sir Jeffrey John Stone, and the other Conkey Joe people, perhaps Sir Orville was involved, and Boogaloo. And what did they do? Papa got them to buy an F&M headquarters on Mackey Street, wrong between 1989 and 90. Papa, in preparation, got them to do it because Papa was moving in to take over the F&M. Under the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram, he has never discriminated against poor black people. You heard me? Papa don't discriminate. Watch him. He don't discriminate against the white people. He doesn't discriminate against the Conkey Joe people. Papa loved the Negro people. Watch how he deals with the Haitian. When they had a crisis, Papa flew down to the mud in Abaco with a bag containing $10,000. You heard me? So, when Papa got them to buy the F&M headquarters, Papa allowed all the Negro young men who's do their car wash, who's fix their little car. Papa say, now y'all just behave, obey the laws, wash your car, make some money, fix your engine. Just don't let no motor oil on the ground. And Papa had those young men manage. You heard me? Now, Menace is walling in the F&M headquarters. And all them poor little Negroes who hang around there on the western boundary, washing car, fixing little things. Now that Menace in charge of the country, they too stink and dirty and nasty. Papa, I blame you because you know you had promised me that you would return as leader of the F&M. And Papa, I shall continue to wait for you and try and happy.
Powerful.
Yes.
That's powerful.
Until Papa comes. Now, Mr. Forbes, you are an F&M
Yes, sir.
out of Grand Bahama.
Yes, sir.
My God, you think the party was right
For,
to put that wall?
in my opinion, no, the party wasn't right to do such a thing because that are just some young men who are trying to make a living in these hard, difficult, and economic times.
Well, I just want you to see how the new people, you see, in the F&M arose a Hubert who don't know them people. If this was Papa, Papa would not have run them off the property without first finding a piece of crown land
I
for
agree.
them.
I agree.
But now minister them putting up wall. You hear me? And those young men, they loved and supported the FNM. You hear me? That is what they did. Now ministers come to power, they too stinking dirty to be wrong.
I
And
would
the
hope-
excuse that the FNM is using is almost similar to the mistake that Minnis made when he invested $2,800,000 with that bogus insurance.
Wow.
The FNM is saying that because of a fire that the party had, the insurance company is saying that they ain't prepared to insure them unless they wall in the yard. How long ago that fire was? That fire was not outside the party headquarters. There are many FNMs who is unaware of that fire that took place inside the headquarters of the party. But ministers, you all hard, man. You all hard. My God, look how long they were allowed to be on the property and fix the little tire, wash the little car, fix the little engine. Now minister in charge, and he's walling in the property. But somebody should march 7 times around that F&M wall until it comes tumbling down.
That's biblical.
Papa, speak to Minnis. Ask him to break down that wall, Papa. Papa, please speak to him. So there are the things that are taking place in the country. 1, the police. Hours after, Dr. Minnis got all them wonderful pictures with the grieving parents. They went there, they locked up the man. And when the wife saw it, my Lord, she said, no, don't lock him up. They said, we got to lock him up. She said, well, I got to come too. That is the report that I have received. And in the process, her head was licked up against the patrol car. And then the allegation goes on that as a relative videoed it, the police took his apparatus and erased it. You mean to tell me Minnis, as Minister of National Security, could make this faux pas? You mean to tell me Minnis could not have suggested to the Commissioner of Police or the Acting Commissioner of Police that in view of that tragedy, a patrol car should have been parked outside her gates? But what time is it? It's the people's time. What time is it? It is the people's time. And no matter what y'all try to hide from me, you can't hide it. Because all these people, they're my people. All the Negroes, they're my people.
Wow.
I even family to the Conkey Joe them. So they're all my people, and nobody can hide. But Lord, I pray for the family. And I pray that this was an honest mistake. And if it was an honest mistake, I call on the Prime Minister to do 2 things. Visit and apologize and give good compensation, because the family should not have suffered and experienced what they experienced within hours last night. This is Freedom March. And, my struggles continue. I go and respond to the teacher them and the construction workers to call police for me. Call 2 car of police for me. I was so happy when I saw the police. I said, praise the Lord, the police come. There are times when you must be happy when the police come, because, you know, these young people, they ain't got no manners. They have no manners. And sometimes they inflict violence. But praise the Lord, I can report, but Molly, you lucky I know your pa. I can tell him
Powerful.
how no manners you are. This is Freedom March. My spiritual advisor He's entering the studio.
Welcome,
Be
spiritual.
right back.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker, and praise the Lord, it's a wonderful Friday. My spiritual advisor, Rodney Roll, yea, though his faith was tested on Thursday, Bradley is here.
My test was tested. My faith was tested, you tell me.
Yes.
It
Listen,
was?
welcome to Freedom March.
Thank you, Mr. Monker.
I want you to know that I continue to repose confidence in you.
Absolutely.
This is
Absolutely.
powerful. Well, at the top of our show, we have told you about 3 breaking news. One, that the general manager of the Water and Sewerage Corporation has been sent on administrative leave. That is Mr. Glenn Laville. Just earlier in the week, he came out in support of the government bringing Dominican students to the country, but he was extremely disappointed in Bahamians who had a difficulty with it. So he has been put on administrative leave, and of course, Miss Sandra Edgecombe, who I'm advised is the financial officer. Well, she has been also, Mrs. Sandra Edgecombe. She is the chief financial officer, and she's also been put on administrative leave. And this letter is signed by, or is alleged to be signed by Mr. Adrian P. Gibson. I have to say it is alleged because you will recall in June of this year, the Prime Minister wrote me a letter, and the F&M say the people fraud his signature. Nobody called the police yet. So I better say it is alleged. So that is one breaking news. The next breaking news is the parents of the student, Antonio Eugene Woodside. He was, his parents were arrested hours after Dr. Menace would have met with them. So that's one breaking news. And then at F&M headquarters, all those Negroes who wash car on the back of the headquarters, fix little engine, well, Dr. Menace is putting up a wall. So what time is it?
It's the people's time.
What time is it? And then, of course, I got a call this morning from teachers and construction workers. Next thing I know, a lady who alleged that she is a security officer. Jeff Lloyd, he runs such a slack school that you don't have to wear a uniform. So any Negro can show up and say, I'm a security officer. They don't produce identification. They don't wear no security badge. They don't wear no uniform. Well, thank God, they give me a good option, and that was calling the police. So I was happy that they called the police. I felt safe when I saw 2 patrol cars coming. I want to speak to Melinda Wilson. I had an opportunity to hail her this afternoon, but I want to say something. Melinda Wilson, I want you to be careful, eh? Although the F&M is contemplating giving the union some crown land, don't bend down. Melinda Wilson, even though the Free National Movement proposes to give little crown land to the union, for heaven's sake, don't bend down. You see, nobody can hide anything. When I was told that the F&M is contemplating giving little crown land, I say, yeah, I know Melinda good. Give them little crown land. Show me my video when I went to see the school, right? So I know. But you can't bend down, Melinda. No matter what happened, you cannot bend down. Something got to be wrong. You have the case like you used to do, Melinda. Just carry on. How is it that the expatriate teachers, the foreign teachers, ain't get their little money? All right? How come? And it ain't right. So, Linda, I want you to stand strong, okay? And something is wrong that teachers are invited into a school where the people are still paying. And them noxious orders, that ain't good for the teacher them. The teacher them should stay out of the construction site until it is completed. For heaven's sake, Melinda, this is what you must do, okay? I know you're a good woman, and I know you will not sell out. But there is an appearance that you are selling out. And I told them, I know Melinda, she would never sell out. She'll never sell out. All right? So, you get the Crown land. I ain't got no problem with that. When I hear about it, I say, listen, the union needs some Crown land. So, don't sell out, Melinda. Whatever you do, stand up for the workers and protect them from those noxious foams, them noxious scent. All right? Let them stay home until all the construction work is completed. All right? They complained to me, Melinda. So I had to go there, almost get a lockup. A Negro man named Marvin Molly. And the next thing I know, the man wanted to destroy a $3,000 piece of equipment, showing off himself. Can you imagine it? Just showing off himself and playing F&M. All right? Ah, boy, we are in trouble. We are in trouble. My spiritual advisor, I don't know if you heard that I said that the parents of the deceased young man, the Woodside, they were arrested last night.
Arrested?
Yeah.
All right. Any reason for that?
Well, you know, I don't know what the government strategy is. All I know
The
is
government
I find it.
or the police?
All I
Who
know.
did the arresting?
All I know. Do you not know that the police is an arm of the government?
I understand what you're
But then
saying.
don't be technical with me, my spiritual
They split
advisor.
hairs, eh?
Or I shall ask the woman them to case you out. Don't forget now, I'm a man
But-
who leads thousands
yeah,
of
I
good women.
understand that. Yeah, quite a bit. But I mean, of course, I think the police would have an explanation for that.
Well, I'm waiting to hear what
of
the
course they would.
explanation is.
We do operate a professional police force. You know
Okay,
that,
my
right?
spiritual
So
advisor.
let's give them their space to do what is necessary to be done.
Well, we advise that the pregnant mother, who's still grieving, her head was, hit against the car.
Well, they normally hold, your head and guide you into the vehicle. So I mean, you say that is alleged. Is any fact, any proof to that?
Well, I'm only telling you
What they tell you?
has
I know
been
the police
told.
officer. Whenever they place you in a vehicle, they normally try to,
Okay.
guide you in safely.
Okay.
Let's hope that happens.
Well,
let's get the police force.
The
benefit of the doubt.
allegations is it didn't happen,
Okay.
and that the police erased the tape. I think we need legislation whereby the police by law would be prohibited from attempting to stop any citizen from recording any activities that the police is involved in for the purpose of truth. You follow?
Yeah.
Take, for instance, while I was streaming, I had undercover people streaming me streaming.
Okay.
You see where I'm coming from?
Okay.
So, however you look at it, I have an accounting of my visit to the school because other Negroes were also streaming. But it's a sad day that minutes would go to them people's house. And if you saw the front page of the paper, you would see that he is
that's
there.
the Tribune. Yeah, he is there. Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, the Tribune has such a wonderful headline. Let's look at the Tribune
Because I
headline.
think they recorded that event, didn't they?
Well, even if they didn't,
They did. Yes,
Um,
they did.
the Prime Minister did. All right? So the Tribune headline is Watch the Film. Every agonizing, wrenching, awful second, then give up Eugene's killer. That's what the Tribune say. Well, I want to hear what the Tribune can say Monday, since they are not like the Guardian that comes out on Saturday. All right? But in the meantime, as spiritual advice, I want to go to a statement where the leader of the opposition, Philip Brave Davis, it's a very interesting statement. Let's establish something first. The Prime Minister of the Bahamas is the head of government, and as such, is the Bahamas representative to CARICOM. Philip Brave Davis is leader of Her Majesty's opposition, and therefore he does not hold any office in CARICOM. Do you understand that?
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
But the Prime Minister invites him, the leader of the opposition, who holds no office in CARICOM, to accompany him to Grenada, when Mr. Davis is not a representative of the people of Grenada.
Well, could he accompany him as a fellow Bahamian guest?
No,
He can't do
it
that.
would be improper. And let's look at Davis' no comment on plan to help Dominica without more details. The story is written by a light-skinned Negro male by the name of Travis Cartwright Carroll. And it goes like this, and I quote. And I'm reading from what am I reading from? I'm reading from the Nassau Guardian. Opposition leader Philip Brave Davis yesterday declined to comment on whether he supports the government's plan to accept students and others from Dominica into the Bahamas as the country rebuilds after Hurricane Maria. There is a standard policy of assistance to our CARICOM sisters in times of distress, Philip Brave Davis said outside the House of Assembly. The policy has always been that we would give at least $100,000 as an immediate gift. That is nothing new. Insofar as the Progressive Liberal Party is concerned, we embrace that policy of granting immediate assistance, as has been the norm where we do a grant to these countries, Philip Brave Davis said. Insofar as further assistance over and beyond that, that requires, I think, a discussion. That discussion would then determine what the country is able to do. Asks about why he would not give a definitive position on the matter. Davis said, well, because I don't have sufficient details. The unfortunate fact here is the xenophobic flames that have been fanned by the lack of details has caused everyone to pause and look and seek more details before they jump to any conclusion to support or otherwise. On Wednesday, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis revealed elements of the government's plan to help Dominica. Minnis said that there are 3 categories of students who may apply. The first will include children who have relatives in the Bahamas and who can find lodging and support from family members. The second will include college students who may wish to study at the University of the Bahamas and who will seek boarding at the university. The third will be children of parents employed in companies and banks which have offices in the Bahamas. Minnis said temporary employment transfers can be arranged with these institutions. Menace also announced that he intends to visit Dominica on Monday. He said that Davis was invited to come. However, the PLP leader said he cannot make the trip, nor could any of his parliamentary colleagues. In the House of Assembly on Wednesday, Menace was moved to tears as he spoke of the devastation on Dominica. Asked his thoughts on Menace's emotional communication, Davis said, "Heavy is the crown that sits on the head of a leader." Asked if he thought it was a public relations maneuver, Davis said, "I have no comment on that. I would not wish to pass judgment. I would hope that it is not a PR stunt. I would hope that it was genuine emotion," said Philip Brave Davis. Now, the question, my spiritual advisor, why is it that Menace is weeping over Dominica? And what interest does Dr. Menace has in Dominica, which he has not disclosed to the Bahamian people?
So you mean to tell me now we haven't figured out yet why the Prime Minister wept over Dominica?
Well, my spiritual
We haven't figured
advisor,
it out? I mean,
has he
that's-
disclosed it?
That's simple, eh?
Well,
The devastation is just unbelievable, Mr. Monica.
it is so easy to mislead you, my spiritual advisor.
So, I mean,
I am going to suggest.
everything else is mere speculation or assumption.
Let's look at the speculation or assumption, as you put
That's
it. my
what it
spiritual
is. What else could it be?
What are you talking about when I have not disclosed it?
I said that everything else besides understanding why the Prime Minister wept is speculations or assumption.
Is Menace's ancestral homeland?
You tell me.
What tie, biologically, if any,
But what
Menace
does,
has.
what does this have to do with anything, though?
it's important? I'll give you an example. My mother, may God rest her soul, her father hails from the Turks and Caicos Island.
Okay.
You heard me? So if Hurricane Maria ravaged Turks and Caicos, and I moved to weep for Turks and Caicos, I will say to the Bahamian people, listen, the key reason is my mapa
Yeah, your ties to it.
was
okay.
born in the Turks
Okay.
and Caicos.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah, so go ahead.
Now
I'm
you
listening.
understand why I'm crying. Because I'm crying over the Turks and Caicos,
Right.
where my pa was born.
Okay. Now,
So?
let's go ahead now. Continue.
Dr. Menace, tout le monde haïtien, ou connaît prénom not. En pile not, sorti Haïti, en pile not, sorti Dominica.
Okay.
Est-ce que vous connaissez payer famille Monsieur Menace sorti? Yon grand moun haïtien dit, grand moun li sorti Haïti. Aujourd'hui, m'a jwenn yon grand moun garçon qui dit, grand papa li sorti Dominica.
Okay, so what's the problem with that?
Il pas expliqué. Il pas dit ça. So,
Okay, so
my spiritual
so it's
advisor,
even more justifiable now. You can understand it.
boy, listen.
You can understand, eh? He's-
Tell the
if that's
people-
the case, then he's crying for his own people.
Tell the people what I say so I could deny it.
You know,
say-
I ain't getting involved in that. I understood what
You
you said.
are a
and I'm-
coward.
No, I'm leaving that. I'm
And
leaving it right.
Christians,
I'm leaving it right there.
cowards don't go to
Yeah,
heaven.
cowards ain't going there, but yeah.
My spiritual advisor,
In this case, yeah.
my spiritual advisor, you're not prepared to tell the people them what I am alleging?
No, I'm not going to do it, Mr. Monica.
Why?
Because I hate going along those lines.
Okay then.
All right?
Well, I was speaking with an old man because Dr. Menace is a North. We know that the Norths are
From Haiti.
from Haiti. But there are some Norths who are from where?
Dominica, and that's understandable because it's a French colony, basically Creole French. So 6 of 1, half a dozen.
If Menace family is from Dominica,
that is fine.
I'm going to ask.
That is fine.
I'm not saying it's true, because I would prefer his family to be from Haiti.
But there's so many other things.
But if his family, the Norths, are descendants of Dominica, should not Menace tell us?
I don't know if that's necessary.
Should he not disclose it?
That is
He's
something
taking a
that is
whole
something that he has
government.
to disclose. Who is he pleasing by doing that?
Listen to me.
He doesn't have to do that.
I needed to know why he was doing all of this.
You don't need to know
When
why he
the
was crying.
policy, Philip Brave Davis told us that the policy is the government, as a member of CARICOM, will give $100,000. That's the policy.
Okay.
But Menace has gone beyond that. Menace rep in the parliament. He now has the government organized, where the defense force. You know where Dominica is?
Yeah,
Dominica
it's-
Pass,
yeah,
Barbados,
yeah.
way south. And that's where he's sending the defense force.
Yeah.
Way south.
That's the HMBS.
All right.
Is it Lawrence Major that's going down there?
I think it's Lawrence. In addition
Well,
to that,
I see a lot of
Menace
ships- I
is
see a lot of ships going-
organizing, I want you to listen to me, my spiritual advisor. He's organizing the government, where the government of the Bahamas is going to Dominica to do what? To inspect? Menace could go on Google and Google Dominica.
That's interesting, eh?
I have a secret I've never disclosed to you now. Every night I go on Google and I go to Haiti.
Yeah, so you could view the damages from Google.
Yeah, but he's taking a whole government. And now want Philip Brave Davis, who does not hold any position in CARICOM, to go with him. Huh? No.
So what is wrong with what he's doing?
He has not disclosed an interest, as it is alleged, by Yon Gasson
You know, Mr. Monica,
Gramoun.
I
Kipale.
think you're not being fair with the government, and you're not looking at the bigger picture here.
What
you
is the
know?
picture, my
The
spiritual
bigger
advisor?
picture is that we have an island nation that needs some help. That's the bigger picture.
Oh, my spiritual advisor.
I mean, that's the reality.
CARICOM has the protocol
Yes, and
already set.
we're members of CARICOM.
Under the PLP, they give Dominica $100,000 before. Hello, welcome to Freedom Match. Hello? Hello? Okay. My spiritual advisor, read text, because this is a long weekend, and I want the people them to hear that we are grateful and appreciate their text.
All right, here we go.
So let's get to some
man.
text. How much
Another-
text we
another
got?
200 again.
We got 200 texts?
Mr. Monica, why is it that this government still worrying about the PLP and what they did instead of trying to do better or trying to move plans forward so that our country can move forward? Good day, Mr. Monica and spiritual advisor. Blessings. This country has gone to the dogs. Is there any hope? Please, spiritual advisor. People need jobs. We are hurting. What should be done? Can we just get rid of all these foreigners who have jobs in the Bahamas? Talk to me, Mr. Monica. What is your answer?
Read text, my spiritual advisor.
Good day, Mr. Monica and Mr. Roll. The Abaco gentleman was cut off. Please let all people finish talking. Hi, my name is Anika Brown. I am 13 years old and I have severe lung cancer.
Goodness
I also
almighty.
have a large tumor in my brain
Ugh.
from repeated beatings. Doctors say I will die soon if it isn't fixed, and my family can't pay the bills. The Make a Wish Foundation has agreed to donate 7 cents for every time. Oh, okay. Can I still read this? Something with this message being sent? All right, we'll look at this. We'll look at this off here. Mr. Monica, a correction of yesterday's post about Dr. Brown and the cancer clinic. Is it not in Dominica? Oh, sorry. It is not in Dominica. It is, however, located in St. John's, Antigua and Barbuda. My most sincerest apology. Mr. Monica, where's the acting commissioner of police? Mr. Monica, who is Simon on the front porch?
Simon on the front porch is the sinful man who's writing them horrible stories in the Nassau Guardian. This is Freedom March. We'll be right back after the break.
Do you have something to say to the senator? Call Freedom March at 323-7775. Toll free from anywhere in the Bahamas at 242-300-0045. Freedom March with Rodney Monker, only on ILTV. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV here in Nassau, Bahamas. Well, let me start off by giving a shout out to Mrs. Patricia Coakley. Listen, Mrs. Coakley, I thank you for the green banana. I thank you, Miss Coakley, my spiritual advisor. She and I, we break bread together at St. Joseph. I also want to wish an early 29th wedding anniversary to my great friends, Nicola Emmanuel Jacks and his charming wife, Mrs. Gloria Jacks. And on Sunday, the 1st of October, they will celebrate 29 years.
Of March.
Guess who was the best man?
Had to be you, eh?
I was the best man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacks is your boy.
Yeah. And so, happy birthday, Brother Jacks. And listen, y'all cook, eh? Because, you know, I just love your pot. And then, on the 2nd of October, Brother Jacks' wife, Sister Gloria Jacks, she will celebrate a birthday. But I'm not going to tell you all her age, okay? So happy birthday, Sister Jacks, and I look forward to celebrating the whole of October. This is powerful. This is powerful. Do I have any citizens on the telephone? Well, hello, my brother or sister. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I am not too well, but praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
First time caller.
Well, welcome, my brother. What's on your mind?
Two things.
Go ahead.
To help the folks that the Prime Minister would like to help. There's nothing wrong with helping,
Yes,
but all you need to do is send down some trailers, a few trailers,
yes.
and let them live in the trailer until the place is built back properly.
Okay.
And another thing, Mr. Roll,
Hey.
do you speak Creole?
Ma parle ampil Creole, parle piti. Pukisa,
yeah?
pukisa.
He talks.
Okay, the reason I ask is most of the time Mr. Monka speak Creole to you and ask you a question, you don't answer him.
Oh, yeah, because he says some things that I just don't want to get involved with on TV.
Yeah, I understand. Anyhow, you all have a blessed evening, though.
I
Yeah,
thank
do
you.
the same.
Okay. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Get them texts ready, my brother. Hello.
Good
Hello?
afternoon,
Sir.
Mr. Moncor.
Sir, welcome.
To you and your spiritual advisor.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
Wonderful.
Great.
Mr. Moncor, I am an avid listener, a first-time caller.
I thank you.
I say that you have a type of show that you are not afraid to speak the truth.
Oh,
and
no.
that is commendable.
I thank you.
I also, I am wondering, why is Dr. Minnis going to Antigua? Not Antigua, to Dominique, because Dominica, I don't see the need. What is the purpose of going there? He knows exactly what hurricanes do.
Yes.
And why is he taking such a large delegation? There's no need to go to
Dominica.
Dominica.
Yes.
If
Unless.
if you need to help them, I have no problems.
Yes.
But what about the people in the Bahamas that still need help?
I agree with you. We're going to have the march the second Saturday in October. But go ahead.
And Mr. Bunker, you're doing such a wonderful job. I want you to keep it up.
Please pray for
And I
me.
think Dr. Minnis has some questions to answer.
Yes, he has.
I really like your boldness.
I thank you.
Keep his feet to the fire.
He's my party
And
leader.
I'll say it like the way you say it. Don't bend down.
I shall not bend down. If
God
he
save the
promised
Queen.
me, God save the Queen. If he promised me a ship, I won't bend down. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello?
Good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monka and spiritual advisor.
Good afternoon.
Good
How you doing?
afternoon.
Now, I am perplexed about something with Reverend Michael Pine.
Go ahead, let me hear it.
I don't know why persons have a problem with him saying what he said yesterday, but the Prime Minister helping the people. Okay.
Yes.
He have the right to say that.
He's the MP.
So why people have a problem with him saying that because he's a pastor? Why he's saying that Minnis should give them $200,000 is because he lives in Freeport
Yes.
and he know what the people who vote for him in Freeport going through.
My God.
That's why he's saying that.
Yes.
And what I like about him is, you see, if you notice the people in Freeport who vote for him,
Yes.
they say before election he was helping them.
Right.
It means that Reverend Michael Pine is not depending on the money from the Treasury now to
Wow.
do anything.
Okay.
And he have balls. He stand up.
He sounds.
He's not worrying whether Minnis give him something to do to make more money. He's not worrying about that.
You sure?
Because he's a man of God.
Yes.
And he know God is going to make a way for him.
God will take
See,
care of him.
Before he win the seat, God was helping him. God was making ways for him.
I know.
He trusts God. So you have some people waiting on
A handout.
a handout or waiting on something to go read, so they're afraid to
Yeah.
say what happened because they feel like, the Prime Minister, whoever's in charge of giving out those, whatever they give out,
Yeah.
they're afraid, I'm not going to get it, so I have to be quiet.
God will take
That
care of
person
him.
is not depending on God.
No.
Because you can get a play and get sick, Minister still ain't going to pay you.
No.
So we have to really learn to depend on God. And what I want Reverend Michael Pine to do,
Yes.
I know those other ministers don't like what he do, but tell him hold on to God.
Hold on to God,
God
Michael Pine.
changes things, not man. And I want a spiritual advisor. He say he's a Christian. He to trust God. He's just there waiting on someone to tell him, I get a little contract for you down the road.
Yes,
So
I
he's
trust-
just quiet.
Hey.
He don't want to say what's right or wrong. I just look at him and watch him.
I
Pray
trust
for him.
God. I
Spiritual
trust.
advisor.
Hey, I trust God. Yeah.
Because the other day when they said it was going to give you nothing, you were so down.
No, I
Everybody's
wasn't-
calling praying for now. It
I
looked like
wasn't
they
down.
wanted to give you a
I
couple of
wasn't
things.
down.
Because you
Babe.
change so much with spiritual advisor. Trust God, yeah?
I
Trust
thank
God.
you.
Have a
I
blessed
trust
evening.
God.
I thank you very much.
And I know God is
Spiritual
going to
advisor,
touch
you have
somebody's
text?
heart.
Read
Yeah,
text.
We got quite a bit.
Let the spiritual advisor read one text.
Take the call.
Reverend Michael Pine, listen, God will take care of you.
Michael Pine upset about something,
All right?
man.
Stop attacking him.
He's upset.
Hello, welcome to Freedom Mats. Stop.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mankar.
Good afternoon, my love.
And good afternoon, spiritual advisor.
Hey, how you doing?
Fine, darling. You just hold on to God and send him, and he'll take care of you.
Amen.
Oh, yes, I know he
Mr.
will.
Mankar,
Yes,
listen
ma'am.
to me.
Yes.
I heard you said that Dr. Minnis is going to put a wall around the F&M quarters on Marquis Street.
Yes.
Mr. Minnis, listen to me. I had a son that was washing car around there over 20-something years.
Wow.
When he put a wall around that, what do you expect for the young man who washed cars there every day? They employed, you know. That's
Yeah.
a job for them.
That's a
what
job.
are they going to do?
Minutes got hog heart.
You know something? I ain't blame Dr. Minnis. I blame damn who wrote F&M.
Yeah.
So they're going to see what they're going to see. They will show what they have, but they ain't sure what it's going to get. And guess what? I'm a PLP all the way.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you one thing as you go. Papa would have allowed them to wash car right into Immemorial. Take it here.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, minister, I'm wrong. Hello, welcome to Freedom Mats. Spiritual advice a bit of text. Hello?
Okay.
Yes. Hello?
Hello?
My love, what's on your
How you
mind?
doing?
Listen, it's a wonderful day, but I'm upset. What's on your mind? What's on your mind?
It's good afternoon to you in special. Good afternoon to you in special, Eliza.
Good afternoon.
How you doing?
Speak to us.
Well, last night the grieving family them.
Yes.
The grieving family and the seven and they get together.
Yes.
And
talk
and
to
the
me.
police came there. They thought they came to visit them. And her husband was outside there, sitting down, and they grabbed him up and beat him up and beat up the woman.
Wow.
You think that's right?
I don't know what Minnie's doing. Minnie's just been
They
there.
all have whole heart.
Wow. And they beat up the pregnant woman too.
They beat up the pregnant woman, all her neck, the knock on the stomach and goes up all her neck.
Well, Minnie's promised her doctor yesterday, so it looked like he have to deliver. I don't know what's going on. All right? I'm so sorry that it has happened. And I'm praying that the police will tell me that this was a mistake, a serious mistake, because it should not have happened. Anyway, listen, talk to the family, and if they want to come on the show next week, if God spare my life, they can come, okay? Tell them the baby...
Okay, you have a nice weekend now.
Okay, tell the man, Mr. Woodside, his great-grandma live in Black Village. Florence, Florence, goodness me, what is Florence? Richardson. She lives in Black Village. Just leave the message with her, and they'll be invited on the show, okay? Take good care. God bless you all.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye. Don't take no more call. Let's read text. Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
Good day, Mr. Monken, your spiritual advisor. Why is it that these PLPs keep calling your show and complaining?
Read text.
They need to sit small. Spiritual advisor, you're a hypocrite. No one person is closing their bowels of compassion for Dominica, but please consider the fact that Grand Bahama is in need of dire attention. What are we to do?
Wow.
Mr. Monica, with the PM and his wife visiting the family of all innocent children who are, will the PM be visiting the family of all innocent children who are murdered? Because if you do, if you can do it for one, you should do it for all.
The Prime Minister of the Bahamas should visit every citizen who was killed contrary to law. That's what he should. Every family. That's what he should do. I used to visit as many families as I possibly could.
All right, that's a human thing to do.
That's what he should do.
Mr. Monica, something ain't right with Dr. Menace Dam. I wonder what deal Menace getting from this, because he's surely pushing this issue for these people. Why don't he just send some money for the people in his
Find
club?
out if Mr. North, his grandpa, is from Dominica. I used to think it's Haiti, but I ran into someone who said, listen, Dominica. One brother went to Haiti, and one brother went to Dominica.
Mr. Monica, I'd like to send a shout-out, happy 25th birthday to Miss Gray.
Miss Gray. Hello, Miss Gray. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday shout-out to George McKinney from his wife, Teresa Washington McKinney. He's
George
one of the women there.
McKinney.
One of the men there, sorry.
How are you? Happy birthday. Hi, Mr. Bunker. You look so handsome today. Pisces and Port Lucaya just loses right after, just closes. Hi, Mr. Bunker. You look so handsome. Well, thank you. Today, Pisces in Port Lucaya just closed right after the Prime Minister was dancing in the square with Naomi Wallace-Whitfield, who before election thought he wasn't good enough to be leader. It's amazing how she switched when he won. Oh, I know what she said in front of some of the F&M friends. Be careful, little town, what you speak. It's a ghost town in Port Lucaya. Shops closing every other day. So that is what.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Mr. Roll, I do like you, but man, you can't just continue to read scripture to defend F&M. Mr. Monk is right. The devil also knows the scriptures and uses it for his own purpose. He tried to tempt Jesus by using a line from the Old Testament. Gentlemen, with all the backlash about the Dominican students, the word now is that it will not be costly to the Bahamas. that they will be staying with friends and relatives. The story keeps changing. If this is so, why didn't they come? Why didn't someone indicate this from the very beginning? Mr. Monica's only interest Mr. Simmons have in this whole matter is stuffing more money into his pockets.
Now, y'all stop saying that because y'all know Brent Simmons got plenty money. Okay, go ahead.
156 million.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's okay. Good day, Mr. Monica. Good day, spiritual advisor. Ask Mr. Rodney to have an FNM MP on the show. Tired of seeing.
I want Carl Bettel. I want him and Ellsworth Johnson, who tabled a bill that Ellsworth argued against. All right? I want to find out from the Attorney General why he knows. All right? But he wouldn't come because I remember a 1987 thing he said. All right? Watch me when I make these allegations. Remember I said how the woman didn't let the Haitian child in the school? And I used him as reference, and he has not denied it because I ain't lie. All right?
As a Catholic member, Mr. Monica is not a true believer of the faith. The PLP agenda he's running with those salty women callers. Mr. Monica, sick. And them ladies who call in early, something is wrong with them too. Spiritual advisor, you must turn that King George III Negro Sir Rodney into a true believer. He could not face Mr. Jeff Lloyd and goes hiding from Menace, Candy, and Dame Joan, who is watching him.
No. Please, I have to hide from Dame Joan because I is Missy Adderley great-grandson. She cannot argue with me. As for Candy ain't safe. As for Jeff, Papa's watching. Papa! They just told me you're watching. Papa, I'm so happy you're watching. Brensel, Papa, has a woman named Miranda Burrows who works the National Insurance, Papa. And guess what she does all day? She just cuss me out and say all kind of bad things. But I'm going to do to Brensel, Papa, what Wayne Monroe is getting ready to do to Foreign Affairs. They had a man from Foreign Affairs when I was in the Senate, Papa, went on the Nassau Guardian and just cussed me out. And Wayne Monroe has found a law for me to get some money from Foreign Affairs, and I'm going to get some money from Brensel. You tell Miranda while she is waking, she must stop cussing me out with her ugly self. God forgive me for calling Miranda Burrows ugly.
My goodness.
Because when I first saw her, she looked like mine with her. But she's saying bad things. Miranda, you ain't safe. Okay, go ahead.
Spiritual advisor asked Mr. Monica from Black Village, did he read Candy a column on Jerome Fitzgerald and how Brave Davis distanced himself? Mr. Christy
I have an offense from Philip Brave Davis where he defended Jerome Fitzgerald. I've not had an opportunity to read it. I got to look at it next week. And Candy can't talk. I'm not going to say it in English because it's a bad thing to say. And I have my granddaughter in studio. She used to speak Haitian Creole, but her parents them carried to Elutra. Now she don't remember anything. Si Candia parle mal, ma passe l'air.
Please.
L'air,
Mr.
mamani, cache, na rajaya. Go ahead.
What?
My spiritual advisor, pretend like you understand what I'm saying. That there's no sin in that. Okay?
Please, spiritual advisor. My God. Please don't let those ladies who don't have no compassion on your brothers and sisters. Keep the word on them, and they are power drunk and broke down. The PLP is lost, and they are heartless. Good day, spiritual advisor. Ask Rodney to have an FNM MP on his show.
I want one. I want Carl Bettel or Ellsworth Johnson. I'm going to have to be easy on Ellsworth Johnson because his daddy was such a wonderful man, Oscar. But by grab, I see their contradiction. Under the PLP, they didn't want a spy bill where the judge determines. Now, they're going to give us a spy bills where Negro politicians will determine. Huh?
Spiritual advisor, you need to leave Rodney Monica show and go to Mr. Bodie's show. Mr. Roll, what I mean is this. The mentality of most of our people are either ignorant and they have no idea where Dominica is, nor the state is in. Mr. Rodney Monk, you need to.
Don't say anything unkind to me. This is a
Yeah.
wonderful day.
A spiritual advisor loves to defend the FNM and foreigners. It's also the Christian thing to give people health care and fix their homes after the storm.
No nation treat foreigners better than the Bahamas. We love the strangers in our gates. My spiritual advisor, I want you to watch the clock. This is another weekend when my people, the Negro people, pick up their unlawful weapons and commit crime.
Okay.
All right,
here
watch
we
the clock. I
go.
need you to speak to them.
Mr. Monka, Miss Sheila Johnson is an understanding woman. She is also a social worker. That caller doesn't, I guess it's a text from the other day. Mr. Monka, there are still people that homes have not been rebuilt or repaired since Hurricane Matthew. There are people that have special needs, kids that have not been able to get them into special needs, government school. Parents are struggling with special kids. with no
Monka,
help.
sir, Dr. Menace is just like Papa Doc. He's trying to rule with an iron hand, and the media is quiet on everything. Well, tout le monde haïtien, parler avec maman, avec papa nous, pour expliquer history de Papa Doc.
Spiritual advisor, I am actually agreeing with you today. We should not render evil for evil. There is a scripture in the Bible, yes, very powerful, where the woman took her last food to feed the prophet of God, and return she received an abundance for her and her child. Yes, 1 Kings chapter
Yeah,
17.
my spiritual advisor,
I needed to read that.
We should feed
That
you.
is powerful.
You are our prophet.
Mr. Monka, apparently after working the whole month of September, Mistress Cleopatra Christie did not get a salary.
My
nor
God.
did she receive a pension.
Carl, it is a disgrace that the former magistrate Cleopatra Christie, who helped to strike down corruption in the judiciary, has not been paid. You should hang your head in shame. All right?
Mr. Monka, Mr. Monka, will we be kneeling like the NFL players do at the next march in October?
What we kneeling? We not American? Listen, we're not American. All right? Let them kneel. We can kneel when we are praying. Stop getting in them people politics, okay? We got enough problem here. Where Menace is getting ready to go to Dominica. Well, the time is drawing near. Cut them texts. I want y'all to be safe. I want y'all not to commit no crime. And I want Glenn LaVille to reflect over his political endorsement of the FNM. See how they had that cutlass right in there for you? How the whole political cutlass chop Glenn LaVille head off as they put him on administrative leave to investigate. Well, I know one thing. Whatever you think about Glenn LaVille, I've met him, and I found him to be a man of good integrity. I met him. I don't like some of his position as it relates to Dominica, but he's been a man of integrity. And it is my prayer that when the investigation is over, he shall be able to continue to maintain his dignity. Because many of them are charging people. Spiritual advisor, forget the text, read, say to the people to behave
Yeah, well,
themselves.
you've done it, Mr. Monka.
You're not going to tell the
well,
people
yeah,
that?
Mr. Monka, every weekend, we really hope that, the Bahamian people take advantage
Look
of
at
the
the camera
weekend
so the Negroes can see you.
in a positive way and, do the things that are, positive in helping to mold
Yes.
and knit the society.
I want y'all
You
to
know.
be like the Conky Joe people. You see them killing anybody?
And that's interesting that you said that.
They're not killing anybody. I'm not saying that they're not sinning.
Right.
They might be sinning,
But we're killing all our own.
but they're not killing anybody. They're not killing Conky Joes nor Negro. Be careful before, on Judgment Day, only the Conky Joes go to heaven. And that would not be a very good thing. All
Well,
right?
it's not going to be like that.
Okay. So
But
spiritual
we're
life-
hoping for a safe weekend, Mr.
a
Monica.
safe weekend.
And of course, as Sunday draw nigh, we hope that people go to church, and try to understand the basic
What
principles.
church do you attend, my spiritual
I
advisor?
meet with the Harvey Park Church of Christ.
Okay.
I've found that this Christian principle about loving the Lord thy God with all your heart, with all your mind, and your soul, and your neighbor as yourself is a very powerful principle.
Okay.
Because if you love your neighbor like you love yourself, obviously you don't harm yourself. You won't harm your neighbor.
This is
You know,
powerful.
and I think we need to learn to love one another more.
Let's love the nation.
Like we should. If we express more love, Mr. Monica, we give more love, more
Hold up.
love is returned.
Hold up your flag, my spiritual advisor.
So we hope no killings on the weekend, eh?
Nope.
Put down all the guns.
All the guns.
Do you think they'll ever introduce an amnesty period where these men can turn on these guns and these bullets?
Hold up your flag.
What do you think about that?
We are tired of that. So Arlington Butler, he first introduced it. Now Sir Arlington is on his sick bed, and nobody remember him, and nobody visit him. When you're going to see Sir Arlington Butler, he's sick, and he was such a good man.
Emergency.
So,
Already.
yes, go ahead, my spiritual
Have a great
advisor.
weekend, everybody.
Be safe.
Enjoy.
Yes.
Love and peace.
Yes.
Get your plywood, get all you need. This is hurricane coming with speed. Get your plywood, get all you need. This is hurricane coming with speed. I'm a hurricane.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Take good care. I love all of y'all, even if you're angry with me.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.